Demetrios Vikelas was a Greek businessman and writer. He was the first president of the International Olympic Committee, from 1894 to 1896. After a childhood spent in Greece and Constantinople, he found fortune in London, where he married. He then moved to Paris. On account of his wife-abandoning business, he dedicated himself to literature and history, and published numerous novels, short stories and essays, which earned him a distinguished reputation. Because of his reputation and the fact that he lived in Paris, he was chosen to represent Greece in a congress called by Pierre de Coubertin in June 1894, which decided to re-establish the Olympic Games and to organize them in Athens in 1896, designating Vikelas to preside over the organization committee. After the Games were over, he stepped down, remaining in Athens until his death in 1908. Childhood. Vikelas was born in Ermoupoli, on the island of Syros in Greece. His father was a merchant, originally from Veria, and his mother, Smagda, was a member of the rich Melas family. He was educated at home by his mother, possibly due to his fragile health. When he was 6, the family moved to Constantinople, and 10 years after that to Odessa. He started working for his father's business. Already he showed signs of his literary potential. At the age of 17 he translated Esther, a tragedy by Jean Racine. Permanent return to Greece. With his responsibility for the 1896 Summer Olympics, Vikelas returned to Greece for just 10 days in autumn 1894. On October the 14th, he received a telegram from Dr. Louise informing him that the condition of his wife had worsened. She had edemas in her thighs, calves and stomach. She could no longer feed herself. He urgently returned to Paris. It seems that she then died. In November 1894, a number of young nationalist officers, advocates of the Megali idea, created a secret society, Ethniki et Area, whose aim was to revive the morale of the country and prepare the liberation of Greek peoples still under the Ottoman Empire. In September 1895, they recruited civilians, all linked to the organization of the Olympic Games, including Vikelas himself, although he claimed only to have given in to friendly pressure, playing a solely financial role and then quickly resigning from it. At this point he was still attracted by the possibility of rebuilding his country. After the Games, which proved a success, Vikelas withdrew from the IOC, replaced as a member by the Count Alexander Mercati and as president by Coubertin. The defeat in the Greco-Turkish War, which came soon after, dealt a serious blow to his morale. He decided to leave Paris to move permanently to Athens. He dedicated himself to popular education. In 1899 he founded the Society for the Spread of Useful Books in Athens, to help the country to recover from its defeat. In 1905, he represented the University of Athens at the Third Olympic Congress and Seventh IOC meeting in Brussels. He also remained an active member of the Hellenic Olympic Committee. He died in Athens on the 20th of July 1908 from an afflicting illness. He had been made a Knight of the Legion of Honor on the 31st of December 1891, and Honorary Doctor of the University of St. Andrews in November 1893. He was a member of the French Association for the Promotion of Greek Studies, and of the Society for the Promotion of Hellenic Studies in London. Legacy. He left his immense library collection to the city of Heraklion in Crete, founding the Vikelia Municipal Library. Though in fact he did not live much of his life in Syros, the island counts him among its most well-known sons. Today, the sports center in Ermoupoli bears Demetrios Vikelas' name. The stadium seats 2,000 people, and has an Olympic-sized swimming pool, 4 tennis courts, 2 gym halls, basket and volleyball courts, track and field, floor football court and soccer field. Also, the Syros Island National Airport is named for him. The Olympic movement. First Olympic Congress. Pierre de Coubertin had already attempted to restart the Olympic Games at the Congress for the 5th anniversary of the Union des Associations Écoutes Françaises de Sports Athletiques in 1892. While he may have raised the enthusiasm of the public, he didn't manage to establish a proper commitment. He decided to reiterate his efforts at the Congress in 1894, which followed, which would openly address the issue of amateur sports, but also with the subtext of the recreation of the Olympic Games. 6 of the 7 points which would be debated pertained to amateurism, and the 7th on the possibility of restoring the Games. Coubertin also sought to give an international dimension to his Congress. He gained support from several personalities: the King of the Belgians, the Prince of Wales, the Diadochus Constantine and William Penny Brooks, the founder of the Olympian Games in Shropshire, England, and Ioannis Fokianos. Fokianos was a professor of mathematics and physics and a college principal. Fokianos was also one of the propagators of sport in Greece and the organizer of an Olympic Games sponsored by Evangelized Zappers in 1875. In 1888, Fokianos organized an elite and private games as the founder of the Panhellenic Gymnastic Club. Fokianos could not travel to Paris for financial reasons and because he was finalizing the construction of his new college. He turned to one of the more eminent representatives of the Greek community in Paris, Demetrios Vikelas, to whom he wrote to ask him to take part in the Congress. Historical and literary works, novels and short stories. Poems, London, 1862. Lucas Laras was his main work, a historical, patriotic and moral novel. The style is naturalistic, as opposed to his heavy romantic works which were written as they were in Greece. It is written in simple language to make it accessible to a wider audience. The action unfolds as the Greek War of Independence enters Smyrna. Chios, Syros and the Cyclades, an old rich Greek merchant in London, reflects on the adventures of his youth. The novel was published as a series from 1879 in the literary Athenian magazine Estia. The book was translated into 11 languages. Nouvelle Grecque, translated by the Marquis de Cudis and Hilaire, 1887. Philippe Marthas appeared in La Nouvelle Revue, September to October 1886. Read at Gallica, Tales of the Aegean. Books and historical articles. Articles on Palaiologos, the last dynasty of the Byzantine Empire, in the Athenian journal Pandora, 1859–1860. On the Byzantines, London, 1874. Les Grecs au Conciles de Bale et de Florence. La Nouvelle Revue, May–June 1882. Read at Gallica. La Grèce avant la Révolution de 1821. La Nouvelle Revue. January to February 1884. Read at Gallica. De Nicopolis et Olympie. Lettres et un aimé. 1885. The Byzantine Empire. Scottish Review. No. 816. October 1886. Byzantism and Hellenism. Scottish Review. No. 917. Janvier 1887. The Subjects of the Byzantine Empire. Scottish Review. No. 918. April 1887. Greece before 1821. Scottish Review. No. 1326. April 1889. The Formation of the Modern Greek State. Scottish Review. No. 1427. July 1889. L'Empire Nice for Focus. La Nouvelle Revue. July–August 1890. Read at Gallica. 7 Essays on Christian Greece. 1890. Le Philhellénisme en France. Revue d'Histoire Diplomatique. 3. 1891. La littérature byzantine, Revue des Deux Mondes, March to April 1892. Readat Gallica, Grèce byzantine né moderne, Firmin Didot, Paris, 1893. Political and polemic works, Journalism in England, Eunomia, 1864, Statistics of the Kingdom of Greece, Journal of the Royal Statistical Society, No. 31, September 1868. Le rôle et les aspirations de la Grèce dans la question d'Orient. Cercle Saint-Simon, Paris, 1885. Readat Gallica, Van GT 5 ANNE Acutes de Rennes Constitutionnel en Grèce, La Nouvelle Revue. March to April 1889. Readat Gallica, The Territory of the Hellenic Kingdom, No. 1428, October 1889. Translations. He translated into Greek the stories of Hans Christian Andersen, and various Shakespeare plays.